What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer in this video here today, more specifically going over what potentially could happen in a sequel to Jennifer Kate Robinson's latest legacy sequel to I Know and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. If you have not watched that film, click away now, because from here on out, you're on your own, and if you get spoiled, that's not on me, that's on you. So, Jennifer Kate Robinson gave an update to Nylon Magazine regarding Stevie's fate and her sequel idea for I Know What You Did Last Summer. She made it clear that Sarah's not dead. Sarah, of course, is Sarah Pigeon, who starred as Stevie. She said there's actually a deleted scene that I'm hoping they'll release after release, and it's actually in the trailers where we shot the fisherman going through the window at Sarah, and you find out where Sarah ends up. Like the originals, if I make a sequel, it was never going to be canon. But yes, Stevie's still out there. All the men are dead, and we have so many final girls. Now, this comment is important because Stevie's attack in the trailer could have easily been tied to Carla and Julie's moment, but I guess the attack wouldn't have been legit anyway, so even if we got it, Stevie would still be alive the way Ava told us she was at the end of that movie. Jen also said this about her sequel idea. She said, I do have an idea that I think could be really fun that brings back everybody that I think we love. It would definitely be a Final Girl All-Stars, Divas Live, but Final Girls. This isn't the only teases we've gotten about this potential follow-up, though. She did a Ask Me Anything on Reddit a few days ago, and one user said this: I always thought the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer should have been I Know What You Did Last Winter, only because nothing horror-wise really happens in autumn. I can only think of things like Children of the Corn, Thanksgiving, and the Halloween-based films. On second thoughts, I don't think I thought this question through. That's their comment, which I agree with you as you started mentioning things that do take place in the fall, but I've been. She followed up to answer this person saying, what's funny is you're hitting on something that's a part of my sequel idea, but let's see if we're lucky enough to get there. So based off of that, it's not crazy to assume that perhaps the idea potentially involves not being set during summer. I just don't know how we tackle this narratively. We have Danica, Ava, Stevie, Julie, and Carla if Brandy wants to come back full time. In my head, I'm thinking Stevie gets arrested during this gap between films. In the sequel, maybe we toy with this idea that anonymous tips led police to Stevie, and this individual is the new fisherman going after Julie, Carla, Danica, and Ava. Now, I know a couple of you will eat this next half up, but yes, I do think Hannah is a character we should consider as a potential antagonist going into I Know What You Did Last Summer 2, or whatever that film ends up being titled if it happens. Hannah, if you remember, is the one we saw with Stevie when we first saw her leaving Danica's party. She told Stevie to go on with her friends and she'll take care of the rest. You probably remember her now. Hannah vanished after that, though. But Stevie made sure to quickly deny that Hannah didn't know anything about what happened with Sam Cooper. I think that was a lie considering what happened with Stevie and Judah. Stevie was part of the local church community led by Judah, and that's how she met Sam. Hannah seemed to be close to Judah as well, because the second time we see her, she's with Judah. Another reason to believe Stevie lied is Judah was paid off to keep quiet about what really happened with Sam. I just find it hard to believe, with all of that in mind, and how close Hannah seemed to be to Stevie, that Hannah just knew nothing. I think Hannah knew enough. I believe Hannah knew about the accident, mainly because in some of my scoop work on the film, it would appear that Hannah was supposed to be a witness to the accident, but we know she never shares a line like that in the film. So an easy fix going into the sequel is, while Hannah being a witness didn't happen, she was aware of what went down because of her relation to Judah and her relation to Sam and also Stevie. They all were part of that community. And Judah, we know, was paid off to keep quiet, so I just don't find it logical that Hannah knew nothing. She just kept quiet, likely to respect Judah's wishes, but could have been a helper to Stevie as well. Maybe she's the one who killed Judah. Maybe Hannah helped Stevie after she went overboard at the end of the movie, because how else did Stevie get from point A to point B? Somebody have had to come out there and help her, I would think. But why snap and go after Stevie and the others? If I'm being quite honest, because of how camp this would be, I'm not thinking of anything overly serious when it comes to I Know What You Did Last Summer and a follow-up to it. Hannah came off to me like she got absolutely no attention online or in real life, and I could see that being a motive going forward with a character like Hannah. Stevie's attention makes her jealous and she wants some of that spotlight, but more importantly, Judah could have been what kept her centered. Without Judah's guidance, even though she, again, in my theory, could have been the one who killed him, she was manipulated. But without Judah's guidance, Hannah has gone back to her old ways, and she blames Stevie for this. Julie and the others are a work in progress in my mind as to how this ties into anything Hannah has against them. But I think one angle you could go through is Hannah's goal with them could be as simple as wanting to expose Julie's secrets since they've been scrubbed from the internet. Now, what does that have to do with Pastor Judah? That's for her to explain. Again, that's just a work in progress in my mind. I mostly want to draw attention to the fact that I think that Stevie's friend, Hannah, who went under the radar for a lot of the film, but has a lot of important connections to big puzzle pieces in this story, could be someone to look out for when it comes to a potential new Fisherman in I Know What You Did Last Summer 2. And I do like the idea of us potentially not even being set in the summer. I do like that idea. I'd love to see how that gets tackled. And I know people didn't like the film. There's a film that came out months before called Final Destination Bloodlines. I didn't like that movie. All I can tell you is do not lose sleep over people liking the damn movie. I didn't lose sleep over people liking Final Destination Bloodlines. You shouldn't lose sleep over the fact that me and many others don't dislike this movie. I knew exactly how divisive this would be when I got spoilers. I knew exactly how divisive this would be, and I knew people would be in the comment section just brawling all day and night like they're gonna do with this video. That's just how this goes. But you guys let me know what you think about Hannah and her potentially being the new Fisherman in I Know What You Did Last Summer 2, or again, whatever the hell it ends up being titled. Do you think that she is, in fact, someone who knew more than what Stevie told us? Stevie made it clear she did not know anything. Hannah knew something. As far as I'm concerned, Hannah's a problem. We need to watch her, and she could be the new Fisherman along with somebody else in the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Maybe Hannah can find someone who is a casualty as a result of what happened all those years ago between Julie, her friends, and Ben Willis, or maybe one of Julie's students has a problem with her. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here at this point because I don't think that Hannah should be doing this alone. She 100% needs a partner in the mix, but I do think Hannah is somebody we need to be paying attention to. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Turn on post notification so you never miss a video. In the description, I'll have links to all of my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, to let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.